In this video, I'm going to talk about valuing another complex asset, which is retail security deposits. Should you value it at cost? Should you project cash flows? What kind of objective inputs should you seek while valuing this asset? Also, what are the implications of stress, specifically financial stress, on the value of this particular asset? Hi. My name is Yash Shah. I'm a part of the leadership team at SJA, the first entity to have gotten the license for valuation of all notified asset classes under the Companies Act 2013. Our team encountered this very typical question when we were closing the valuation for one of the largest retail chains in the country, having an asset base of 40,000 plus crores scattered all across the country and holding security deposits worth of 4,500 crores plus. Also, the matter got further complicated on account of the fact that this retail chain was under financial stress when this evaluation was undertaken by our team. So with that said, this is the broad model that you should follow for valuing retail security deposits. Number one, obtain an MIS of all the leases entered by the company. You can either obtain this from the management, or in case they have not prepared it, like was the case for us, you will have to undertake the painstaking task of formulating this entire MIS of all the leases which have been entered by the company. This MIS should include details like name of the lessor, document date, that is the date of the lease deed, the address, the area in square footage, the start date, the maximum tenure of the lease, the minimum tenure or the lock-in period before which the lease cannot be terminated by either party, the rental envisaged, and the quantum of security deposit. Once this MIS is ready, you will have a single point of reference for all the inputs which you require for your model. Number two, calculate key matrices for the model based on the MIS drawn up above. Now that you have an Excel sheet with a ready reference of all the data with respect to the leases, you have to now calculate certain key inputs which are required for the model. Number one is average lease tenure of the various leases. Number two is the average unexpired lease tenure. Unexpired lease tenure can be calculated by subtracting the lease completion date with the evaluation date. So for example, for property X, if the lease is expiring on 31st December 2023 and your evaluation date is 30th June 2023, then your unexpired lease tenure for this particular property will be 6 months. So this way you have to do it for all the lines and then average that out. Number three, number of months rent which has been held as security deposit. So is the security deposit worth 2 months of rent, 3 months of rent? What is the average number of months rent which has been held as security deposit? Number four, what is the number of months rent outstanding? So this particular clause will come into play if there is some kind of financial stress. So whenever there is financial stress, you will typically see that the company, which is the lessee in these cases, will start keeping certain months of rent in arrears, which will be equal to or near about the number of months security deposit which has been held. So this figure has to be calculated and can be obtained from the books of accounts. After that, number of months the other critical obligations like electricity, water, etc. are outstanding. And once you have all these figures, based on that you have to calculate a risk of forfeiture. This risk of forfeiture is obviously a subjective figure. It is a coefficient which is the risk that the deposit will get forfeited to recover the outstanding rentals and other core commitments. For example, if 2 months obligations are outstanding and the lessor is holding a 4 months rent as security deposit, risk of forfeiture coefficient would be approximately 50%. Now you have to multiply the quantum of the deposit to the risk of forfeiture coefficient and then obtain its present value based on a suitable discount rate. This discount rate can be the opportunity cost of marginal funds, and the unexpired lease tenure can be taken as the period of discounting. Now, this above example which I discussed with you is applicable to rental security deposits, but a similar ratio can be used for valuing deposits under any contractual obligation. You have to see, you have to quantify what exactly are the obligations against which the deposit has been kept. Once that quantification is done, you have to find out what is the present extent of default. Based on that, you will calculate a risk of forfeiture coefficient. Then you will apply it to your security deposit, and then you will discount it to the present based on the cost of capital, the opportunity cost, and the unexpired lease tenure as the period of discount. So this is one of several methodologies. This is a very popular and commonly used methodology which is adopted. And if you like the above content, you can show your love by liking this video. If you want us to make more content on valuing any other complex asset class, please leave a comment in the comment box and we'll be more than glad to discuss that particular topic. Until next time, this is Yash Shah saying goodbye. Thank you.